Hello and how is it going, everybody? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest next-gen gaming news. The bit of news that we're going to be talking about today is a pending trademark that I discovered very recently. That's right, I'm always unearthing these awesome trademarks. I love this, and I'm glad that I can now look into other things beyond Bethesda Game Studios. Of course, I will always continue my coverage of Bethesda, but the fact that I'm finding stuff from Sony, especially stuff that is for the PS5, is just freaking awesome, and I'm so excited to be sharing this with all of you. Now, like I said, what I found is the pending trademark from Sony themselves for not only the PS5, but actually the CPU of the PS5. That's right, the actual CPU that will be powering next-generation gaming. Now, not only will I be breaking this down and showing you everything and telling you what I think it means, but at the same time, I will actually show you the trademark so you don't think that I'm full of shit. So let's go ahead and get to that now. As you can see, it is Google Patents. I am showing you this trademark from the Google Patent site, so you know it is not fake. Sorry everybody, Skullzi is not skilled enough to hack Google, so yeah, this is legit. You can look this up yourself if you don't believe me. You can see the patent number. You can see, this is interesting, this is the description filed with it, but I'll get into that in a second. But you can see that these dates here are pretty interesting. This was originally filed in 2015, then 2017, and then 2018. Now what this tells me is that this CPU architecture was originally at least trademarked for development process in 2015. 2017 is likely when they actually had physical production of the CPU, or at least in terms of testing so that they can make changes and update the trademark. And now 2018 looks like February 13th is the most recent update to this trademark. So you can see up here it says backwards compatibility testing of software in a mode that disrupts timing. Boom. These two first words, backwards compatibility. Now, the rest of this testing of software in the mode that disrupts timing, that is a lot of programming language that I don't completely understand, but I do kind of understand that it just has to do with the processes running on the CPU, because that's how CPUs work. They're in the processes of your computer and of your software, etc., and stuff like that. As you can scroll down, it gets into more information. A device comprising of one or more processors. Right there, that's obviously a CPU. A memory coupled to one or more processors, so it just goes into, it talks about the operating system, which is stored in the memory configured to run, a lot of other stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to completely read to you word for word what this says. I'm just going to tell you the most important things. One of the most important things is, yeah, it says processors, so this is obviously a CPU that also has the ability to do backwards compatibility for most likely the PS5 and maybe even the PS3 going down to the PS2 and the PS1, and I think that this will be a completely different situation from what the PS4 attempted to do with complete backwards compatibility, because that is a completely different patent and hasn't been updated or used or changed much since. Now you can look at the first few paragraphs of this. I'll just paraphrase, but it says modern computer systems often use a number of different processors for different computing tasks. For example, in addition to a number of central processing unit CPUs, a computer may have a graphics processing unit. Then it goes down to this paragraph. Backwards compatibility is often achieved through binary compatibility. When a new device is capable of executing programs created for the legacy device, which would mean the previous systems, the previous PlayStations. However, when the real-time behavior of the category of devices is important to their operation, as in the case of video game consoles or cell phones, significant differences in the speed of operation of a new device may cause it to fail to be backwards compatible with respect to legacy devices. Now, what this is saying is that if the PS5 is too fast, that it won't actually be able to be backwards compatible for the PS4, PS3, PS2, and PS1. And then it goes on to say that obviously if the PS5 is slower than the PS4, that it won't be backwards compatible, but that's a no shit situation. But the interesting thing is that it says in this paragraph that if the PS5 is too fast, that it will not be able to be backwards compatible. Now normally you would think that, well, Sony won't care about that then. They'll just want it to be as powerful as possible. But no, because look at all the wording in this trademark. It says backwards compatible all over the place. In fact, it's in the literal description filed with the patent. So what that tells me is that the PS5 will definitely be backwards compatible, and that at the same time, it won't be crazy faster than the PS4. So expect a PS5 that's probably at least 50 to 80% more in terms of processing power, graphics, etc. than the PS4. 4. At least that's what I'm guessing. Even that may be too much. I'm not an expert when it comes to any of this stuff. When I look at the pictures filed with this, I feel like I'm looking at a ancient, like, Egyptian tablet that I found in the pyramid. I kind of could understand a little what it's saying. It's just the processes that the CPU will take when doing stuff. There is some interesting stuff to be seen in this, but what I want is for people who have a better understanding of this kind of thing to please comment down in the comments below what you think this means, or even send me a message over on Twitter, and if I like your information, I may use it in a future video and give you a shout out if it's actually something worth mentioning. I don't know what these numbers are. 101 execution units, all of us right here. But then there is some interesting stuff in this. It looks like now we're looking at maybe the motherboard or the build of the actual CPU. See, look, CPU core, CPU cache. See, and then GPU core, GPU cache. So this is the actual graphics API. Nice. So yes, this is definitely for not only just the CPU of the PS5, but it looks like a lot of the programming behind it, and maybe even some of the chipset of the physical hardware like the motherboard and the actual build, the physical build of the CPU. I don't know what this looks like. This looks like an alien keyboard of some kind, but you know, there's figure 4 for you. Anyone knows what that means. And then figure 5. Look at this. Figure 5, I don't understand it much either. But it's awesome that we have some actual literal stuff to be looking at about the PS5, something that isn't just some kind of rumor crap. This is a literal trademark, pending update from Google, patents filed from Sony. I don't know how else you can say that this isn't legit or full of crap. Now, like I said, if I read to you word for word this entire thing, it would be a long video, and I know you guys would be bored, but I recommend anyone with knowledge of this kind of thing, or anyone that just wants to look through it yourself, go ahead and do that. I've already read most of this entire thing, but a lot of it is just, I think, legal stuff in order to protect their CPU intellectual property, a lot of stuff that they have to mention in the trademark, but it does all describe what a CPU, and even in some circumstances a GPU and other stuff would do, and the processes that the programming and the operating system would take to do stuff and things. Yay! Stuff and things! Now, this is exciting. I am gonna begin to look even further into Sony, Microsoft, and even Nintendo and anything else when it comes to next-gen gaming, but at the same time, if you're here for Bethesda news, don't go anywhere, because I cover Bethesda news, Bethesda Game Studios news specifically, just as much as I'm gonna cover next-gen gaming, if not more. Now, what I want to know, like I said, is what do you think about this entire situation down in the comments below. If your comment wins the internet, I may feature it in a future video. And again, anyone who knows or has an educated understanding or something, or works with these types of things, please let me know what you think this means, if you've discovered anything further, or even send me a message on Twitter and I will give you a shout out in the future video if it's all legit and video worthy. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay in the know when it comes to next gen gaming news and Bethesda Game Studios news, and follow me over on Twitter for the latest news, memes, and random shit about me. Also check out my Twitch channel and give me a follow over there, because I've recently reached Twitch affiliate and I'm gonna be doing a streaming schedule here soon. I just have to adjust everything around YouTube and my working schedule as well. And if you want to have your hand in building future content and defending the channel from bullshit video takedowns, then subscribe to the community over on Patreon. Link is in the description below, as well as links for everything else. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when I find the patent for Microsoft's coffee machine.
Bye, have a great time.